as potential West Virginia targets have committed to other schools, as well as the Mountaineers sending out scholarship offers to new transfer targets. It's time to take a look at an updated list of West Virginia's transfer targets this offseason. Let's go. What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Jordan Cruz back here with the Country Roads webcast. And before I get into this video, I just want to ask you to do us a quick favor here, if you would. Hit that like button, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps its performance and helps future videos performances on the channel as well. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It helps us and it helps you, as it helps get more of this Mountaineer sports content out to Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, let's get into it. All right, so if you've been following us here on the Country Roads webcast throughout the West Virginia football offseason, I'm sure you've seen the running document I've had chronicling West Virginia's transfers out, their transfers in, and of course, kind of most importantly, in my opinion, or I guess the most fun part in my opinion, is trying to keep up with the players that West Virginia is targeting in the transfer portal. So I've tried to keep a running list of offers and transfers that West Virginia is targeting. I went through here late last night and did some research of players that have committed elsewhere, as well as new scholarship offers that have gone out to other transfers for the Mountaineers. Really cleared the list of players that have committed elsewhere. And so the result is the remaining list is players that have West Virginia offers that have not yet committed anywhere, and also showcases players that have recently received a new West Virginia offer that are in the transfer portal that we maybe have not documented yet to this point. So let's take a look here at our running list this offseason of West Virginia football transfer targets as we continue to try and keep up with this as West Virginia looks to add to their team heading into the 2023 football season. All right, so as you can see here, there's a look at the transfers out list for West Virginia to this point in the offseason. Obviously, if you've been following along here, I've chronicled each of one of these in a video of their own pretty much, as well as the transfers in for West Virginia. I've done the same here. You can find those on the channel. But if you want a little update, I will read off the 3 transfers in for West Virginia to this point. Wide receiver Jashawn Polk from Kent State also has a good chance to serve as a return man for the Mountaineers in 2023. Defensive back Montre Miller, also from Kent State, I think has a chance to be a really good player. Almost 900 snaps there at Kent State, never committed a penalty there at the defensive back position. Really high grades according to PFF. And when they played Power 5 competition, he did a great job of locking down his man. And then Cole Taylor, a tight end from LSU. There's the Power 5 transfer everyone's been clamoring for, a position of need for the Mountaineers at tight end after losing Mike O'Laughlin, Brian Palende, and of course Corbin Page to transfer as well. They were left very young at that position. Only player returning with any experience would have been a redshirt freshman this past season in Traylon Davis. So getting Cole Taylor, a player that has playing experience at LSU over the past 3 seasons and great size at 6'7", 250 pounds, awesome addition for the Mountaineers. So that's a look at the players the Mountaineers have added thus far. So I've removed those from the transfer target list. Let's take a look at this transfer target list now for the Mountaineers. As we can see here, wide receiver and defensive back, the positions the Mountaineers really looking to target. So we'll start here with the wide receiver position. The top 4 guys here West Virginia had already offered previously, and a couple of these West Virginia has a great shot to add out of this top 4 names here. They've had offers out, and these guys have not committed anywhere yet, so hopefully they will be announcing here in the near future. But those guys are Dante Thornton, a wide receiver from Oregon, Nick Mardner, a wide receiver from Cincinnati, Xavion Thomas, a wide receiver from Mississippi State, and Devin Carter, a wide receiver from NC State. Nick Mardner has been on campus for a visit, I do know that much, and it has been rumored that he may commit at some point, so who knows, keep an eye on that one. But I think any one of these 4, any 2 of these 4 would be great pickups for the Mountaineers. Additionally, the Mountaineers have sent out 3 other scholarship offers since I've last updated this list, and that is Josh Cobbs, a wide receiver from Wyoming, Xavier Weaver, a wide receiver from the University of South Florida, and Tyrone Broden, most recently a wide receiver from Bowling Green. So there's the wide receivers the Mountaineers have offers out to in the transfer portal. Keep an eye on those names potentially. Offensive linemen, West Virginia did have a few offers out. Most of those committed to other places, unfortunately, except for these 2. Gunnar Britton, West Virginia offered early in the process. He's from Western Kentucky, has yet to commit anywhere. And then most recently, they have offered Willis Patrick, an offensive lineman from Jackson State. Jackson State, of course, the school that Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, was at this past couple of seasons. With his departure, some of their players have decided to enter the transfer portal. Willis Patrick is one of them, and obviously he has some talent for West Virginia to send him an offer, so hopefully keep an eye on that name there along the offensive line there. Those are the 2 players that West Virginia currently has offers to. Defensive line wise, West Virginia did have several offers out as well. Some of those guys committed elsewhere, and then a couple new recent offers. But all of these, as you can see, Power 5 players West Virginia is targeting on the defensive line. So that will, of course, be a bright spot for most of the Mountaineer Nation, as it seems that's what everybody wants to see. But I don't rule out players from lower level schools being really talented. I think Montre Miller is a player that's going to be really talented for West Virginia, playing cornerback this upcoming season, that's already committed to the Mountaineers. But nonetheless, we're looking at Power 5 transfers here along the defensive line. Philip Bleedy from Texas Tech, Desmond Little from LSU, and then most recently Jack Sullivan from Purdue and Keyshawn Silver from North Carolina claimed offers from the Mountaineers. At linebacker, West Virginia has offers out to 2 players currently, as we saw most recently, Amari Gaynor, a player we were all really hoping to see commit to the Mountaineers and kind of sort of led us to believe he may do so. Unfortunately, ended up committing to North Carolina. But West Virginia is still with 2 offers out here, one to Nick Jackson from Virginia, and then most recently to Daniel Griesiak of Utah State, who is a prototypical fit for that bandit position that West Virginia plays in their defense. And I'm really hoping to see the Mountaineers maybe get this guy from Utah State who really wants to play at the Power 5 level and get to the professional level as well. Great video on him from our friend Mountaineer Paul over at Mountaineer Paul Talks Football, also here on YouTube. Check that out if you haven't already. He spoke to Daniel Griesiak himself, who is looking to get on campus for a visit here soon. So look out for Nick Jackson from UVA, and then Daniel Griesiak potentially at the bandit position, West Virginia targeting him as well. Defensive backs, I've grouped cornerbacks and safeties together here, but a lot of these West Virginia has had these offers out for a while. Kenny Solomon from Tulsa, Benjamin Perry from Louisville, Terry Roberts from Iowa, Jabbar Muhammad from Oklahoma State, Isaiah Johnson from Arizona State, who I have covered in the past, formerly an in-state player at West Virginia from down in Mercer County at Bluefield, ended up going to California, I believe, to a prep school for his final season of high school. Ended up at Arizona State, but he was a top 15 corner in the country, top 5 corner in the country at one point as well. ESPN 150 recruit. So I'd love to see the Mountaineers get Isaiah Johnson from Arizona State. He remains uncommitted, still a chance there. Recently, the Mountaineers also added offers, or sent out offers, I should say, to Tyreek Funderburk from Richmond, Malik Feaster from Florida State, and Jordan Young from Florida. And then these players here, I believe, are safeties for the most part. Jalen Catalon from Arkansas, Keyshawn Cobb from Buffalo. The aforementioned Mountaineer Paul over at Mountaineer Paul Talks Football also mentioned Keyshawn Cobb, spoke to him in the video that he did in which he talked about Daniel Griesiak as well. Keyshawn Cobb also is going to be a fit for one of those specialized positions in the West Virginia defense, but he's looking to fit into the spear position. I do believe he is visiting this coming week, so hopefully maybe we'll hear something about a commitment if we can lock him down. I know once West Virginia gets prospects onto campus, that's when you really have to look for a potential commitment, because that's where West Virginia really shines, I think, is with the facilities. It really surprises some of these prospects. So hopefully that happens with Keyshawn Cobb as well, because I think it would be great to plug him in there at the spear position for West Virginia. Additionally, some other safeties that the Mountaineers have offered are Jihad Carter from Syracuse, Thomas Harper from Oklahoma State, Jaray Wilson from Eastern Carolina, and Jordan Anderson from Bowling Green. So there's a look at the list there of the transfer targets for West Virginia. I'll try and scroll back through here slowly so you can look at them one last time there. A lot of defensive backs the Mountaineers are targeting there, and wide receiver as well. Those are the positions that have the deepest need for West Virginia this season. I guess the one that they need to fill immediately. So I looked at, a couple more at each of those positions. Probably West Virginia already has a wide receiver and a defensive back committed. But I think that you'll see commitments from both of those positions here in the near future. I do believe we'll start to hear more news on the transfer portal for West Virginia. They've only added 3 prospects. Neil Brown said they wanted to add 8 to 12. So you're looking at 5 to 8 more, 5 to 9 more that West Virginia may add in the transfer portal to go along with the 3, as you see on the screen here, that they've already added. The 2 players from Kent State, a wide receiver, and Deshaun Polk, a defensive back, and Montre Miller. And then, of course, the tight end from LSU, Cole Taylor. And then, of course, the players that have transferred out from Mountaineers. As you can see, I'm not going to read through that list again. If you've been following along, you probably already know it, but there it is on the screen for you guys one more time. But I think the Mountaineers are targeting some good players that could potentially fill a lot of these holes that are left, especially at the wide receiver and defensive back positions, where the Mountaineers really have a need to fill those spots. And hopefully we'll hear some news about that in the near future. So there you have it, Mountaineer Nation. An update there on West Virginia's transfer targets here in the offseason as the Mountaineers look to add some potential impact transfers that really will need to play major roles for the Mountaineers in 2023. And we'll be looking forward to finding out who those are, but potentially at least some of the names that may pop up as commitments for the Mountaineers moving forward. If you want to do some research on some of those guys and see who you would like to see the Mountaineers target, or if you know right now, go ahead and let us know. Drop it down in the comments. What are your thoughts on the players that West Virginia is targeting, their performance in the transfer portal thus thus far, and who's your favorite name you'd like to see West Virginia add? Any of those questions you'd like to respond to, let us know down in the comments. We really appreciate the engagement as we continue to try and grow the Country Roads webcast community throughout Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.